And for this, we tend to use Agile development processes. This is one of the most common in the industry. So have you guys all come across the idea of Agile development before? Hands up if you have heard of Agile development. All right, so Agile is a particular development or production methodology, and you'll come across it a lot in a lot of Deakin units because now it's become such a center point in both virtual reality and games actually using this in the industry. Agile development looks a bit like this graph here. We have all these stages that you can see on the graph. The purple area indicates production, the sort of light blue is development, the yellow is design, and the blue is concept. And you can see along the x-axis at the bottom, that's sort of starting from right at the beginning of development, that's getting further in, and that's sort of the getting towards the end of development. It shows here, you can see the concept part never really truly finishes, and production just starts slowly ramping up. Agile indicates this sort of iterative process of you'll have lots of what's known as sprints, where you have perhaps just a few weeks, a deadline maybe in 3 weeks' time, and you'll say, right, what are our goals for this short-term deadline? We know eventually we need to have a giant virtual environment, in 2 years. But for now, let's just say in 3 weeks, what do we need initially? And in that 3 weeks, you may have a big focus on, there may be a lot of conceptualization, some development, a lot of design. You'll say, right, at the end of 3 weeks, what did we get? What now do we think about it? What should be changed or adjusted based on what we produce now? Let's rescope our ideas or rescope what we're going to do and start our next sprint. So then you say another 3 weeks and say, right, now we have these goals for the next 3 weeks. And maybe in this next 3 weeks, we can start full production on some things, but we still need to be conceptualizing others. So it's this sort of continuous iteration of saying, what's a short-term deadline? What can we do in then? At the end, you review what did you produce in that time, make adjustments, start a new sprint. And you can see you just end up getting more and more, sort of closer and closer towards your goal. But the idea is your goal may actually change after each of these sprints. You may go, instead of spending, sitting down and spending 2 years working on something and hoping it all comes together at the end, you can identify with Agile early on, this may not be possible, but this may be a better idea. Let's change some focus to that. You can keep sort of adjusting the goalposts as you go based on your experience and what has been done. So Agile sort of helps you come across, encounter, and adapt to problems or things early on rather than sort of waiting at the end to realize all the pieces don't fit together in this puzzle.